Hi everyone, it's Julia Lundstrom again, your neuroscience and brain health educator. So today, in today's 10-minute memory hack, I want to talk about the fact that your memory is like a muscle. And if you don't use it, you will lose it. So it's really important to use our memories all the time. And with our cell phones these days, we just don't, right? I mean, we don't have to remember names or dates or calendar items because we put it in our phone. We don't have to remember telephone numbers. We don't even have to remember, when our birthday is coming up because it just sends us a notification. Hey, your birthday's on Sunday, which mine happens to be on Sunday. So Facebook does a really good job of that. They notified me of that last week that my birthday was coming up. So we don't have to remember anything, and usually we don't. And we've seen a progression in people's memories getting worse and worse earlier in life because of this fact with the advent of computers and cell phones. So people aren't using their memories like they used to have to. At least it used to be that people would write stuff down in order to remember stuff, but now we don't even do that. So our memories are getting worse earlier and earlier in life. And in fact, I have a bunch of 30 and 40-year-olds that are telling me now, hey, my memory kind of sucks. And I've had a lot of people tell me, I work with people usually 45 to 55 and older, but I've had 30-year-olds recently come up to me and say, hey, please help me with my memory. So this is becoming a problem. So what I want to encourage you to do is to use your memory, actually use your memory. So in today's 10-minute memory hack, I'm going to show you a technique to use your memory more often, and it's called the memory palace. So let's say your spouse asks you to go to the grocery store, and they say, hey, will you pick up some broccoli, milk, bread, yogurt, and bananas? Now, you may be able to handle that. That's only 5 things. Our memory can usually remember 3 to 6 things. If this was me, all I would do is count them on one hand, and I know when I get to the grocery store, I need to remember 5 things. And then it's kind of easy. It's like, all right, broccoli, milk, bread, bananas, yogurt. Got it, right? Well, what if I was to add 5 more things? So let's say we have, what else do we need from the store? We need some apples. We need chicken. We need, get a lottery ticket. Why not, right? And what else do we need? We need some coffee. And we need, let's just pick something, an avocado, because I'm looking at it. Okay, so hopefully you can read my handwriting. Now you have 10 things. Now this is where most people say, hey, can you send me a text? Or hey, can you write it down for me? But let's actually try to use your memory, because this is where it will grow and expand the more you use it. So grocery lists are just a really simple way to try to use your memory in order to make it bigger. There are tons of other things, try to remember your calendar. Of course you have the fallback if you need it, but try to remember your calendar and the names and dates of things that are going on, or if you meet somebody new, try to remember what they do for a living. Just try to use your memory. So what I want to do is talk about a technique called the memory palace. And so what you're going to do is you're going to remember a house. Maybe it's a house you currently live in. Maybe it's a house that you grew up in. For me, I've moved quite a bit. So for me, the house that I grew up in, I can remember every single room so clearly. And, I grew up in the 70s, so I remember the brown shag carpet. I remember the plywood walls. I remember the hideous brown and orange wallpaper that we had in our kitchen. So this is my memory palace because I remember every single aspect of this house. My room, I got to pick up my wallpaper and it had rainbows with a unicorn at the end of it. It was awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chunk these. And in every room or in sections of rooms, depending on how many things you have, you're going to go ahead and make silly images with these things. So for me, if I was going to walk in my house, we had a carpool, and maybe the carpool is where I start. And okay, I'll take the first 3 things, broccoli, milk, and bread. Well, on my patio then, I have bread standing up, holding a bottle of milk, dumping it on the broccoli. Okay, now that's a totally crazy picture. And, obviously it's not real, but it's going to help me remember. If I see on my carport, I drive up in my car and all of a sudden I see a loaf of bread, maybe it's a piece of French bread, I don't know, pouring some milk over some broccoli, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's the broccoli pouring the milk on the bread. Whatever's going to work for you, that's how you're going to remember that. It's like, wow, all right, now I know I need bread, milk, and broccoli. So then I open my door and I walk into that lovely paneling. I walk into the lovely paneling of my kitchen with I think we had orange tile and the wood paneling on all the cabinets. And then we had orange and brown wallpaper with like orange flowers. It was beautiful. So on the countertop, I see yogurt, bananas, and apples. Well, those are actually kind of close together, especially bananas and apples. So, wow, what am I going to do here? Well, I see a giant tub of yogurt sitting on the countertop. And I see some bananas and apples swimming in the yogurt, diving off, doing little backflips. Maybe the apple's doing a backflip and the banana's doing backstroke. So I see this giant tub of yogurt with apples and bananas swimming in it, doing backstrokes, jumping off the diving board. I'm going to remember that. And then I walk into the living room with the lovely brown shag carpet. Oh boy, we had brown shag carpet. And the linoleum again, or the wood paneling on the walls again. That was great. Now I can take the last four in a chunk. So I have chicken, lottery, coffee, and an avocado. And it's just making a crazy, crazy image. And maybe you want to bring a person into this one. So I just saw a picture posted on Facebook yesterday it was me when I think it must have been 1 or 2. I'm on my mom's hip. She is wearing just the most horrific plaid giant skirt. It looks like a curtain or something. And my dad is wearing red and white and blue striped pants, and they're a little high water. And he has on this blue kind of diagonally striped tie with like a cowboy shirt on. It has plaid up here. It's just horrific. Those are the good old days. I love that picture. He still has the black or the red, white, and blue striped pants, little stripes, enough to see them, not pinstripes. But so now I'm gonna take my dad in that outfit. He's holding a winning lottery ticket, right, in his hand, and he's standing in the living room. And there's a chicken running around him, really excited. Hey, you won the lottery! You won the lottery! And in his other hand, he has a cup of coffee from Starbucks, let's say, because he's tired. And the chicken is, when he's running around in circles, he's squashing avocados to make some guacamole. So now I have this totally crazy image. My dad holding the lottery ticket. I have a chicken running around squashing avocado, and he's holding a cup of coffee. So bringing people into it also helps. And maybe he's doing an action. If you can get these things to do actions, you're going to remember it as well. So now, without even looking, and you saw I kind of made these up on the fly, I drive up to my patio, the outdoor, carport, and I see a loaf of bread pouring milk over broccoli. I walk into my kitchen, I see a giant tub of yogurt, and there's bananas and apples swimming in it. And then I walk into the living room, and I see my dad holding a lottery ticket, drinking coffee with the chicken running around in circles, stepping on avocado to make some guacamole. There's my 10 things. How easy was that? And as you get better and better with this memory palace, you'll remember things quicker and quicker. This is actually how memory champions learn to remember. I can memorize a deck of cards in this way. I can remember any string of numbers. I used to know every single one of my credit card numbers by heart using methods like this. And actually, numbers is a little bit different. I'll go through that in another session. But when it comes to items and remembering things, this is perfect. A deck of cards is perfect. This is how memory champions do it. You want to make the images silly. You want to make them sexy. Maybe Michael Jackson naked in your kitchen holding an avocado. Who knows? But you want to make it so that you'll remember, because your memory remembers in images. That's why when you sleep at night, you kind of see this movie replaying as your memories consolidate and stick. It's taking your short-term memories and making them long-term memories through a movie, because that's how we remember is images. So this rotary memory thing where we're trying to, remember somebody's phone number, our brain can't actually handle rotary memory of 7, 10 numbers. So it's much better to do chunking systems using your memory palace. So with that, go practice, use your memory. What do you have to remember for this weekend? Maybe you do need to go to the grocery store. Maybe you need to remember a couple errands that you need to do. Okay, I need to go to the grocery store, I need to get gas, I need to do this, I need to do that. Instead of writing them down, maybe write them down as well, but try to remember, try to remember. Okay, so go to it and have a fantastic weekend. Thank you.